I am here at Año Nuevo State Park because I just figured, hey, it's the new year, so I gotta go to Año Nuevo, which in Spanish means New Year, and gotta enjoy the beauty of this amazing creation that God has made for us here. It's just absolutely stunning. But I also wanted to share with you some thoughts I had about a passage that Adrian mentioned this past weekend in church. He talked about Philippians chapter 4, where Paul says, "Be anxious for nothing, but in everything, through prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." You know, most of my life I thought I was really practicing that. I'd get anxious, and so I'd present my requests to God, all of my cares and anxieties to God, and sometimes it didn't feel like it did any good. You know why? I now realize I was skipping that little phrase Paul puts right in the middle of that sentence, with thanksgiving. And I don't think it's any accident that with thanksgiving comes right before present your requests to God. Before you go on and tell God all the things that you're worried about, first, give some thanks. I've actually been practicing that this last month or so. I told you guys about this last week. I'm just gonna keep telling you till you do it. But here's what I've been doing in my life. I've been waking up, and before any other thought enters my brain, as soon as I realize I'm awake, I give thanks to God for 5 things, and one of them is an attribute to God, and that changes everything about the rest of my day. It changes the way I pray, and it takes care of so many of my cares. Let me give you one example. One of the reasons Adrian spoke this last weekend was because I'm getting ready to go to Peru. Yes, darkest Peru. A year and a half ago, for some reason, I agreed to speak at a conference in Peru, and I don't really have time to do a lot of sightseeing down there. I can't go up to Machu Picchu because I just don't have time to do it. I got to fly down there. I've got about a day of rest, and then I'm speaking at this conference about twice a day. My wife's coming with me as well. She's going to do one of the talks with me. And then we come right back home again. And to be honest with you, when I woke up this morning, I was full of cares and anxieties about that. I was saying, God, I don't really want to do it. I don't have time. We've got a lot of stuff coming up at church. We've got construction projects. We've got a new series. I'm working on a book for the fall on King David. The last thing I have time for is a 10-hour flight down to Peru to speak at a conference for missionaries, and then a 10-hour flight back. So I was getting ready to cast my cares on God, in other words, complain to God. But I remembered, wait, first, I'm gonna give thanks to God for at least 5 things. And do you know what? Every one of them had to do with Peru. I ended up thinking, well, God, I'm thankful that I get to spend 10 hours with my wife on the flight down, on the flight back, with nobody else interrupting our time together. And God, I'm also thankful that I get to meet these missionaries. There's gonna be missionaries there that are doctors, that are teachers, that are Bible translators, that are church planters, all kinds of different missionaries. And I thought, I'm really looking forward to hearing their stories. And that's gonna be right before World Outreach Week at church. I'm gonna be able to pass along some of those stories to people at TLC. I ended up being so thankful for this trip because I was thinking of, with thanksgiving, presenting my request to God, that you know what, when it came time to present my cares to God, my cares about Peru had turned into thanksgiving about Peru. And that is such a key. So I just want to challenge you to every day when you wake up, present your cares and anxieties and fears to God. But first, spend some time in thanksgiving, giving God thanks for at least 5 things. And if you do that, then I know that some of your cares will have evaporated, some of your fears will have been defanged, and consequently, you will have a great day. Happy New Year, happy Año Nuevo to you.